Hello to everybody watching and listening, and once more welcome back to more Mechabellum. It is getting kinda late. I think I'm on the 8th consecutive match that I'm casting. My voice is kinda not really getting all that great, or isn't all that great. And as you can hear, I'm kinda getting tired, but I have been blindsided by updates coming out and invalidating memory replays, so I don't want to get blindsided again. I'm just probably going to be a bit more liberal with the speed up right now. Anyhow, I'm playing against Thirst for Gamma, playing some wide aggro. And I have Stormcrawlers. I never played this player before, I think, so I have no idea if he's an aggro player or not. Turns out he is an aggro player. And my Stormcrawlers are in probably the worst position to be in, where they are not really hitting this in the first salvo, but I guess the second salvo has some decent hits. Now they are finally hitting these these sledges and doing some decent damage. But my towers are in danger of falling really quickly. First tower falls, second tower falls, and that might just be the story. Yep, that is just the end of the story. Now round 2 comes out, Underground Threat for my opponent, and honestly Underground Threat isn't even looking bad because my opponent has absolutely nothing behind the line. I do end up skipping though, I need to fix my board. Right now I'm going for crawlers, and honestly I could have afforded to put crawlers into his flank. But he is actually defending against it as well. So this is going to be a bit interesting. It's going to distract some of my units. I did get some marksmen. I know I had them in the first round. As you can hear, I'm getting a bit tired. But without these fangs, I'm actually being pushed through. Just all the way. This is about one of the most painful round 2s that I've ever had, I think. Other than maybe against Quick Supply Specialist. My opponent is going for Fire Badgers and he's starting to flank with them as if I wasn't surrounded enough already. I do drop a Fortress in the hope of killing all of these units because there isn't much chaff in this direction. My opponent is already a step further ahead going for Phoenixes. And he's just putting more Fire Badgers into the flank. He's also leveling the Arclights. And I just added some additional chaff here. And some sledgehammers. No, I think I had those chaff units before. I added the sledgehammers and the fortress this round. Sorry, once again, I'm getting a bit tired, but I don't want the replays to expire. I'm being pushed through once again on absolutely all fronts other than the middle. I've kind of fixed that problem. Now I have more other problems. I do at least get that one Arclight, but that is about all. Round number 4. It's looking pretty bad. Smart Marksman, is this match goes the distance. Acid Blast, maybe. Haste Module, potentially. Also worth it. Even the Vulcan drop isn't bad. It can beat those crawlers and then move on to either of these towers. I pick the haste module here and throw it on the fortress so it can hopefully move a little faster, find a few more targets. I do aim to defend these flanks with rhinos, simply because the fire badgers will lock onto them and then the crawlers can hopefully swoop in and take everything else out. My opponent is, however, already on the next step of the plan. Despite Fortress already being on the board, he goes for Wasps. Then again, he can always sell out of it, but he would also have to sell out of the Phoenixes in that case. I do drop some units here. I did drop some Stormcrawlers, hoping to outrange the missile and still get the tower, but he protected his flanks additionally. That was just very unlucky. Highly, highly unlucky. Oh, I'm at 0.8 speed here. Let's put it at 1.0. It's finally looking to starting to look at least a tiny bit more decent on the flanks, but now once again the front is the problem because of the wasps. Which means I once again end up losing my entire board because there is no more solid anti-air here. And it's once again not just a bit of damage, it's a sizable, although not cataclysmic amount of damage. Scorpions come out, which seem to be a good solution against these sledgehammers here. And probably a lot of other units. My opponent is going for the Overlord because I really don't have anything to deal with air. And he is just continuing with the push. I'm really not sure how to beat this strategy. I do go into Fortress anti-air simply so that I can get rid of the wasps, but now I have these and they already have the cannons. My opponent is apparently reading me like a fiddle here. And reading me like a book and playing me like a fiddle. He's already hoping to finish it here. I haven't managed to make any real progress, mind you. So things are really starting to get real bad. Am I remembering to sell these Stormcallers here? Because I really need to sell these Stormcallers. They are not working. It looks like I am. At least that works out. I do put levels on this tower, but then I should relocate my units. I am starting to realize that maybe the way to beat this kind of aggro is just to have your opponent waste supply and beat him on the other side. Though the board might already be in such bad of a state that it doesn't really matter anymore. I did manage to delay these wasps. The fortress is eating the tanks, which is super amazing. This is taking a long time to fall, and those anti-air missiles actually hit pretty hard. But what do I really have against a level 2 Overlord with Overlord artillery? I think the answer is pretty much nothing. The marksman, which could do decent damage, is about to get pushed because it's on the inside. There still is some wasps, which are absorbing one of the missile strikes that could have at least taken out some Phoenix power here. And at the end of the day, with Overlord artillery, I do get that Overlord down, but the level 2 Overlord is just too much. And I end up dropping round number 5 as well. Alright, possibly the final round. Senior defense coming out, but it's super expensive. Amplifying core, wasp swarm, a lot of stuff that could potentially be worth it, but do I really think a wasp swarm is going to do much? I think they will just chase these crawlers and get nothing really done. They will also probably not beat these wasps here, especially if he levels them. I don't know what I end up doing, but my instinct is telling me go mass wasp. Go mass wasp, put it here. He has now 2 underground threats available. You can do a lot of damage with that. I go for the melters. Maybe I didn't feel like I had enough money. I honestly think if I had sold one of these scorpions, or even this fortress, and gone into mass wasps, I would have managed to win the next round. Because I'm pretty sure I lose the next round, looking at the state of the board. It's just utter chaos. I'm not sure why he drops that here. I did drop the wasps here, but honestly, in retrospect, I think I should have known that they would only ever chase these crawlers here. My opponent is mobile beaconing them around. I'm kind of surprised that he is using that here. I would have probably dropped it on top of everything here. And he's going for an additional Overlord, putting it right in front. He's getting temp range. He doesn't even buy out. I'm not buying out either because I'm hoping I have another round. Oh yeah, I was hoping to... that's what I did. I was hoping that these crawlers were quick enough to go through here. But it turns out when the wasps have a haste module, that doesn't actually work. I think wasps at a base level and with no techs or upgrades actually will not stop a crawler flank from coming in. I definitely should have sold the fortress. Looking at this board now. But I was way too, well, overwhelmed by my opponent's crazy push. I've never really been pushed on literally all sides and flanks with someone who manages to defend on the rear as well. But he was really defending on the rear quite well, And in the end, I couldn't win anything. I think I could have turned this around with one move, and that move is sell the fortress here. A level 3 fortress, it is doing a good amount of damage, but I definitely think going into mass wasps could have done a whole lot more good. Especially if I put an additional pack of wasps here and get the tower in a decent amount of time. I would definitely have to buy the speed upgrade. And then I just go into wasps to beat his overlords. They are not going to be good into double tech wasps. And if I manage to clear the chaff out, that probably would have still broke my neck if I think about it. But I should have gone into mass wasps instead of putting a single melting point with tech down. Oh well. And right after this, by the way, the same player was playing standard. I was trying to do some carry arclights, but he just put fortresses here and beat the crap out of me again. And I was already putting some flanks up and stuff. I think at least he was also flanking myself again. So I don't feel bad about putting flanks up. And he was once again really reading me like a book. Somehow this player is in my head. I don't know how. I don't know why. But his playstyle and his reading of the board is just way better than I am. And somehow he's at the same MMR that I am, which is crazy. I think he should be way higher than that. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening, and until next time. Alright, let's see how well this works. So this is the round where the crawlers still have to spawn in. I think he had the wasps like here. Apparently, for whatever reason, the speed modifier is still on. That must have been a replay bug, I think, because the replay was accelerated. Well, I guess then this is going to go by faster. And now this is with the crawlers having been spawned in. Let's see if it works here. Actually, they still get to defend. So now let's assume this is a final round. And we have both speed and range techs. Speed tech is going to benefit the crawlers, and range tech is going to primarily benefit... No, speed tech is also going to benefit the wasps, because they can move after the crawlers again. But range tech is not benefiting these crawlers. Okay, apparently I am wrong. This does not help. So wasps do actually reliably defend in this position against a crawler flank. Good to know.